Thank you for joining me today for some yoga. We are going to start seated, cross-legged in the middle of your mat, if that feels good. We're going to start with just closing our eyes, taking a few breaths. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. Bringing our hands to heart center with a slight bow of the head. Setting an intention for your practice. Sealing it with an inhale and an exhale. Bringing our hands back to our knees, gently fluttering our eyes open. Let's start with a few seated cat-cows. Inhale, pulling the chest forward, and exhale, sitting back, rounding the back. Inhaling forward, gently lifting the chin. Exhale, rounding the back, dropping the chin. A few more on your own. Let's turn these into a few seated torso rolls. Inhale, coming forward. Exhale, rounding the back. Taking these as slow or as quickly as you'd like. Maybe changing directions. Daisy's enjoying the yoga today too, I guess. Coming back to neutral. Let's inhale our hands high and exhale, twisting to the right. Left hand comes to the right knee for a nice gentle seated twist. Inhale, tall, and exhale, release. One more breath here. Inhale, back to center, hands come high. And exhale, twisting to the left. Right hand comes to the left knee. Inhale, tall. And exhale, releasing into that twist just a little bit more. Inhale, back to center. Maybe just taking a couple of shoulder rolls, or neck rolls. Just taking a few breaths for whatever you need. After you've wiggled out any stiffness, let's make our way to tabletop. We're gonna start with some cat-cows here. Now that we're in tabletop, being able to extend the range of motion a little bit. Inhale, gazing up, dropping the belly. Exhale, rounding through the back, pushing through the hands. Inhale, up. Exhale, pushing through the hands, drop the chin. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. Take a few more on your own. Taking any additional movement here a little stretch through the side body. Eventually, finding ourselves back in a neutral tabletop position, we're gonna open up the shoulders a little bit. So coming onto our left hand, we're gonna inhale, right hand up to the sky, and then exhale, thread it through behind the left hand, setting the ear down on the mat. Inhaling, right hand comes to the sky, exhale, thread it through. Inhale, hand comes up, and exhale, thread it through, this time settling in, dropping that right ear to the mat. Hips are above the knees. If you want, you can take that left arm long, get a nice long stretch through the left side body. Taking a few breaths here, using the breath to expand into spaces that need a little bit more stretch or tension. Bringing your left hand back close to your face, we're going to inhale the right hand up to the sky again. And then exhale, setting it down. Inhale our left hand up. Exhale, thread it through behind the right arm. Left ear comes to the mat. Inhale up. Exhale, thread it through. Inhale, left arm raises. Exhale, thread it through. This time, settling in, dropping that left ear to the mat. We can take our right arm long up towards the top of the mat. One more breath here. Bringing that right arm, hand next to the face. Inhale, left hand rises. And exhale, setting it down on the mat. We're going to transition here into a side plank. So thinking about making sure your right wrist is directly under your right shoulder. And then we're just going to extend that left leg long behind us. And then open that left hand up to the sky. Now you can stay here on the knee, or if you want a little bit of extra challenge, you can take that right foot out long. Think about really extending through those left fingertips, reaching up to the sky. We're just going to exhale, threading the needle, kind of following that same motion we did earlier. Inhale up, exhale. Inhale up, exhale, bend. Inhale up, exhale. Inhale up, exhale. Inhale up, good. Dropping that right knee back to the ground. Exhale, dropping that left hand back to the mat, bringing the left knee also back to the mat into a tabletop. Let's just sit it back in child's pose for a moment and maybe take a moment to roll out the wrists. And just take a breath in child's pose. When you're ready, inhaling back to neutral tabletop. We're going to do the same thing on the left. So bringing that left hand directly below the left shoulder, taking the right foot out long, Bringing that right hand up to the sky. Really think about really stretching, reaching through the right hand. And we're going to, if you'd like an extra challenge, take that left foot out long. And then exhale, rounding, threading that right arm through. Inhale up. Exhale, threading it through. Inhale up. Exhale, thread it through. Inhale up. Exhale, thread it through. Inhale up. Drop that left knee back to the ground. Right hand comes down. Right knee comes down. Back into our tabletop. Exhale. Release down into child's pose. Maybe taking a couple of rolls of the wrist. When we're ready, inhaling, back to a neutral tabletop. Just going to take our first chaturanga from our knees. So just bringing the shoulders a little bit forward so they're above the fingertips. Thinking about really kind of like you have jam jars on the mat. Think about rotating the hands. You're not actually moving the hands, but engaging through the mat like you're turning a jar. Your hands don't actually move, but what this does is it allows you to really engage your lats, your muscles along the side of your body, to help support the shoulders. So jam jars on, and then exhale, releasing down, sending those legs out long so that you can come into cobra. Maybe taking a breath here. And exhale, flipping the toes, raising those hips high for our first downward facing dog of the day. Take a few breaths here. Pedal out those feet. Make sure you're really pushing through all the corners of the hands. Your neck is relaxed. We're going to slowly make our way towards the front of the mat. Just taking little steps. When we get here, we'll keep our feet about hips width apart, and then we'll just take a nice long standing forward fold of the day. Maybe you want to grab the elbows. Maybe you want a nice big bend in the knees. Feel free to sway a little side to side if that feels good. Just giving a chance to open up those hamstrings and the lower back. Releasing the elbows if you have them. We're going to inhale, hands to shins, coming up, halfway lift. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold. Inhale, big bend in the knees, slowly, slowly rolling yourself up to standing. Hands can come to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center, Samasthitihi. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold. Inhale, hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, planting the hands, stepping back for plank. I'm going to pause here and plank and just take some step outs with the toes. So stepping out with the right foot and bringing it back. Stepping out with the left foot, bringing it back. Just tapping the toes lightly, bringing them back to center. Left foot, right foot. Left foot, right foot. Once once more with the left foot. Good. Now inhaling here for chaturanga. Exhale. Inhale for up dog. And exhale for downward facing dog. Taking a few breaths here. Slowing the breath down a little bit. Maybe a little inhale onto the toes. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, send those hips high. And exhale, release into downward facing dog. Maybe you do that one more time if you'd like with me. Inhale up onto the toes. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, send the hips high. And exhale, release into downward facing dog. Beautiful. Let's take a breath here together. Nice big inhale. And exhale. Let's inhale up onto our toes. Gaze comes to thumbs. Exhale, bend the knees. Step or float to the top of the mat. And just take a nice little forward fold here again. Maybe you want to take the peace fingers and grab your big toe. Maybe inhale, straightening the back. And then exhale, using those biceps to gently help you into that fold. You might still want a nice bend in the knees here. Releasing the toes. Inhale, coming up to halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up to standing. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's take a breath together here. Nice, inhale. And exhale. Inhale, hands come to the sky. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come to the mat, stepping back for plank. One more time, we're going to do a couple plank exercises before moving to our chaturanga. This time, some shoulder taps. So taking the right hand, tapping the left shoulder, left hand tapping the right shoulder. Right hand tapping the left shoulder, left hand tapping the right shoulder. You got it now. Trying to keep the body from swaying side to side. A couple more taps here. You're doing great. You can always do this from your knees if the plank is a little bit too much for you. All right, great job. Coming back into our plank. Inhale here. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale for up dog. And exhale for downward facing dog. Beautiful, yogis. We'll take a couple breaths here. If you need to, you can always come into child's pose, taking a breath there. Child's pose is always an option at any point in your practice. Let's take one more breath together here. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, come up onto our toes, gaze comes to thumbs. Exhale, slight bend in the knees. Step or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend in the knees, rolling up to standing. And exhale, hands to heart center. Beautiful, yogis. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come to the mat, stepping back for plank. We're gonna go right into our chaturanga this time. So inhale here, exhale, jam jars, really engage those lats. Come down for chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now a couple of options here today. You can always come into child's pose. That's definitely always an option. You can stay here in downward dog. If you'd like, you can try dolphin pose, where we're going to come down onto our forearms, leaving our feet where they are in downward dog. Hips are still high, but the forearms are on the ground. So this can be a more challenging version of downward facing dog, but if you need a break with your wrists, sometimes this is nice. If you're in dolphin, maybe taking one more breath here. And then inhaling back up to downward facing dog. We'll take a breath here together. Inhale through the nose. And exhale. Inhale, coming onto the toes, gaze comes to thumbs. Exhale, bend the knees, step forward, float to the top of the mat. Inhale, hands to shins, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up to standing. Exhale, hands to heart center, Samasthiti. Beautiful work, yogis. We're going to move into our standing series. So I'm just going to turn to face you so that you guys can see me. Feel free to stay at the top of your mat. So for this one, we're going to take just a few poses here, and there's a couple of variations, so I'll talk you through first. We're going to come onto our left leg first, and there's two options here. You can either keep the knee bent. We're going to hold the knee if we're keeping the knee bent, or we're going to grab the toe with our two fingers, bringing our left hand to our hip, and then extending the leg out long. So a couple of options for you. Feel free to take whichever one feels good for you as I cue you through this. If you want to start in one and move to the other, that's fine too. So let's take a nice inhale here, and exhale, rooting through the earth. We're gonna do one more inhale, and exhale, root through that left foot. And we're gonna bring that right foot up. And again, you can either bend at the knee, or if you'd like, grab the toe. I like to bring my left hand to my hip. If you have your toe, go ahead and inhale, bringing the leg long. It's okay if the leg is a little bit bent. Just gonna hold here for 5 breaths. This is a big challenge. And now we're gonna bring the leg out to the side. Again, fine if you are holding the knee bent. Again, 3 more breaths here. Bringing it back to the middle. If you can, take your leg long here. We're gonna release it and try to hold it long. Whew. 3, 4, 5. Great job. Set it down. Whew, that's a tough one. Let's take a couple breaths here to ground through the right foot. Nice big inhale and exhale. Thinking about rooting those feet through the earth. One more inhale. And exhale, rooting through the right foot, bringing that left foot off the ground. Again, holding at the knee, or if you'd like, taking your peace fingers, grabbing that left big toe, inhaling that leg out straight. Sometimes it might be easier on this side. Let's take 5 breaths here. See if you can curl the edges of your mouth. Just made you all smile. And inhale, bringing the left leg out to the side. And inhale, bringing it back to the middle. See if you can keep that leg out long as you let go. Hold it here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Set it down. Whew. Great job, yogis. Take a moment. Work anything out. Maybe a cramped hip or just catch your breath. Whew. Great job. We're going to make our way back to the front of our mat. Inhale here, coming into chair pose. Exhale, releasing down, Uttanasana fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, coming to, bringing your hands to the mat, stepping back for plank. Inhale here, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's inhale, bringing that right leg up high. Exhale, stepping it through, dropping that left heel to the mat. Inhale, up for warrior 1. Those hips are pointing forward. Your feet are on their own separate tracks. Hands are up, gaze might lift to the fingers. Nice big inhale here. And exhale, opening it up for warrior 2. Might have to adjust that stance slightly. I like to bring my back foot so that the front heel of my front foot tracks back to the middle of my back foot. I don't know if I put all those words together well. It's still early in the morning. Gaze is out over the middle finger. Inhale, exhale. See if you can sink a little more into that warrior 2. Beautiful, yogis. Inhale, bringing our hands up. We're going to rotate that front foot to face in. And then we're going to exhale, pointing our feet out to the sides. We're going to release down into goddess pose. Inhale, hands up, legs straight in. Exhale, sink down, bending the knees for goddess. You know where we're going. Inhale up and exhale. Let's do that one more time. Inhaling up and exhale. Let's hold the goddess. Maybe hands are out. Little cactus, goalpost arms. Let's do one more breath here. Inhale, coming up. We're going to exhale. Hands can come to the hips. We're going to point our feet so they're facing forward. And then just a nice inhale here. And then exhale, folding at the hips into our wide-legged forward fold. Feel free if you need to move your feet in closer or take a wider stance here. Bringing our hands kind of in line with the feet so that we can just use them to gently pull us into that forward fold. Keep a little micro bend in the knee. Three more breaths here. Bringing our hands back to our hips. Let's inhale, halfway lift. Exhale here. And inhale all the way back up. Might walk those feet in a little bit. Let's inhale our hands high. And exhale, bringing our hands out to a T. We're going to rotate that front foot forward. And then just inhaling like we're getting pulled towards the front of our mat. Exhale, release into triangle pose. Left hand comes up to the sky. Keys might come up to the left hand. One more breath here. On the next inhale, coming up, bending that right leg a little bit so we can push ourselves up into half moon. Really strengthening through that left leg, engaging the foot, stretching up through the left hand. Really want to think about stretching through all the limbs of the body. And exhale, setting it back down. Inhale, let's go into a little reverse warrior here. And then cartwheeling the hands back to the earth, stepping back for plank. Inhale here. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale for up dog. Exhale for downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, stepping it through with control, dropping that right heel. Inhale up for warrior one. Knee is tracking over the second toe. Gaze is lifted. One more inhale here. And exhale, opening it up, warrior two. Maybe adjusting your stance slightly. Gaze is out over that middle finger. Let's inhale, hands high to the sky. Rotate that left foot to face forward. We're going to exhale, rotate both feet to face outwards, and then release down, bending the knees for goddess. Inhaling up, exhale, bend. Inhale up, exhale for goddess. Inhale up, and exhale for goddess. Let's hold this for a couple breaths. Nice goalpost arms. Beautiful. One more breath here. Inhale up, point those feet forward, and exhale, bringing the hands to the hips, and gently folding over for your wide leg forward fold. Again, if you need to, take your feet out a little wider. Another variation you can try is clasping the hands at the small of the back, and then just bringing those hands up overhead for a nice shoulder opener. We'll hold this for 5 breaths. You have your hands overhead, bringing the hands back to the small of the back, and then releasing them down to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bringing the hands to the hips. Then inhale, coming back up to standing. Might want to walk those feet in a little bit. Let's inhale, our hands up high. Exhale, bringing our hands back to T. We're going to turn our left foot forward, and then inhale as if someone's pulling us towards the front of the mat, and then exhale, drop it down for triangle. Right hand is up to the sky, gaze is to the right hand. One more breath here. Now slight bend in the left knee. We're going to come forward into our half moon pose on the other side. Again, really thinking about engaging through that right leg, foot is flexed, really reaching up through the right hand. One more breath here. And exhale, setting it down with control. Inhale, reversing our warrior. Exhale, cartwheeling our hands down to the mat, stepping back for plank. Inhale here, jam jars on. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale for downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here. Again, you can always come to child's pose if you need it. Or just taking any movement that feels good here. If you're familiar with the Ujjayi breath, maybe just coming back to stillness and focusing on that Ujjayi breath. If you're in child's pose, meeting us in downward facing dog, let's take a breath together here. Nice inhale and exhale. So inhale, come up onto the toes, gaze comes to thumbs. Exhale, slight bend in the knees, step or float to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, hands to heart center, Samastitihi. Beautiful job, yogis. We're going to move through that series one more time with the breath. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come to the mat, step back for plank. Inhale, jam jars. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale for downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot comes out to the sky. Exhale, stepping it through with control, dropping that left heel to the mat. Inhale, up for warrior one. Exhale, opening it up, warrior two. Inhale, hands come up to the sky, pointing those feet outwards. Exhale for goddess. Inhale, up. Exhale for goddess. Inhale, up. Exhale for goddess. One more time. Inhale, up. Exhale for goddess. Let's hold this for a breath. Inhale, up, pointing those feet in. Let's exhale, hands to the hips. Inhale here. And exhale, folding over. Third, one-legged forward fold. You can take any of the options you've already done. If you'd like, inhaling, straightening the back, and then exhale, fold. Three more breaths here. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bring the hands to the hips. Inhale, all the way up to standing. Let's inhale those hands high. Exhale, into T-shape. Rotating that front foot to face forward. We're gonna inhale, like our hands being pulled towards the front of the mat, and then exhale into triangle pose. Right hand can be on the mat, maybe on your shin. If you have a block, that can be nice. On the next inhale, bending that right knee, pushing yourself up into half moon. Let's take 2 breaths here. Exhale, setting it down. Inhale, reversing your warrior. Exhale, cartwheeling the hands down to the mat, stepping back for plank. Inhale here. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale for up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, stepping it through with control. Dropping that right heel to the mat. Inhaling up for warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, raising those hands high to the sky, pointing those feet out. Exhale for goddess. Inhale up. Exhale for goddess. Inhale up. Exhale for goddess. One more time. Inhale up. And exhale for goddess. Let's hold for a breath. Inhale up. Point those feet forward. Exhale, bringing our hands to our hips. Inhale here. And exhale. Final wide-legged forward fold. You can take any of the options we've already taken. Maybe you want to take those peace fingers to the toes. Stick with that trend for practice. Engage the biceps to help you deepen into your fold. Take 3 more breaths here. Inhale, bringing the hands to the center. Inhaling up for a halfway lift. Exhale, bringing the hands to the hips. Inhale, rising up. Let's inhale, hands to a T-shaped pose, taking that left foot pointing forward. Exhale here. Inhale like you're being pulled towards the front of your mat. And exhale into triangle. On your next inhale, slight bend in the left knee, hopping forward into half moon. One more breath here. Exhale, setting it down with control. Inhale, reversing the warrior. Exhale, cartwheeling the hands down to the mat, stepping back for plank. Inhale here. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale for up dog. Exhale for downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here. Really enjoying one of our final downward dogs of the practice. Maybe finding stillness with your ujjayi breath, or taking any final movements you need for your practice in downward dog. Let's take a breath together here. Inhale and exhale. Let's inhale, raising our right leg high. Exhale, bringing the knee to the wrist, setting it down for pigeon pose. If you have a blanket or a block nearby, feel free to use that to support the hip. Checking over our left shoulder that our left leg is nice and straight and long out behind us. Let's take a nice inhale here, stretching long. And then exhale, folding it over. Resting on our forearms, maybe our heads on the mat. Just gonna try to relax. Sink into this pose. Start to slow the breath. With each exhale, gently releasing the muscles, any tension that you're holding, breathing into it, and then letting it go. Inhale, coming back up. Going to exhale, set it down on the right hip. And we're just gonna turn and grab that left foot, bring it around in front. I'm gonna turn to face you all. We're just gonna put the sole of the left foot onto the mat if you can. Right foot is still in that bent pigeon pose. And then just inhale, nice and tall here. And then exhale, we're just gonna hug that left leg. Give ourselves a gentle twist to the left. Inhale, sitting tall. And then exhale, releasing into that twist. Take a few more breaths here. Inhale, back to center. I'm going to take that left leg, send it long. Coming into Janu A. Let's inhale, our hands high. And exhale, rotate over that left leg. And then roll over the left leg. You can grab the shin, the mat, your foot, whatever is accessible to you today. Inhale, rolling it back up. We're going to take our right hand long, and then setting it down just about 6 inches from the right hip. We're going to inhale, lifting our hips off of the ground into rock star pose. Exhale, set it down. Inhale, lifting the hips. Exhale, set it down. One more time. Inhale, lifting the hips. Maybe holding this one for a breath. And exhale, setting it down. Beautiful rock star poses, yogis. Let's bring our feet together into Bakasana or butterfly pose. A couple of options here. You can have your feet really close in, or maybe feels good to have them a little bit further out. It's really up to you. You're gonna get a different stretch depending on where you put your feet. So just think about what your body needs today. You're gonna inhale tall here, and then exhale. You can round the back for this one, dropping the head, letting it release. We'll take 5 breaths. Settle into Bakasana. Inhale, rolling it back up to seated. I'm going to turn to face the top of my mat. You guys can stay where you are. I'm just going to kind of cross my feet in front of me and then just roll over my ankles onto my knees so that I'm in kind of a tabletop position. And I'm just going to step back into downward facing dog. Just to move to pigeon on the other side, but maybe taking a breath. Last opportunity in down dog. Inhale, that left leg lifts high. Exhale, bringing it forward, setting the left knee down by the left wrist, sending that right leg out long for pigeon. Again, if you have a bolster, blanket, or a block, you might want to use that to support the left hip. Maybe checking over your right shoulder this time, making sure that that right foot is straight and long behind you. Let's take an inhale here, Stretching long. And then exhale, bending over that left leg, settling in for pigeon. We'll take 5 breaths here. Noticing, how do you feel on this side? Not judging if this feels more challenging or more difficult on this side. Just noticing. And then sending the breath to any areas that feel a bit tight. And on the exhales, trying to release that tightness. Inhale, sending the breath there. And then exhale, letting it go. Inhale, gently pushing yourself up, and then setting yourself down on that left hip, coming around to the right foot, swinging it around to the front. I'm going to turn so that I can face all of you. We have our left foot still in the pigeon. We're going to grab that right foot, bring it around so the sole of the right foot is on the mat for that seated twist on the other side. Inhaling tall, and then exhale, just hugging that right knee and twisting to the right. Inhaling tall, and then on your exhales, releasing a little bit more. Take 2 more breaths here. Inhale, back to center. We're going to send that right leg out long for Janu A on the right. Inhaling our hands high, then exhale, rotating over the right leg, and then folding head to knee pose. Inhale, rolling up. We're going to inhale that left hand high, and then exhale, setting it about 6 inches from the left hip. Inhale, lifting our hips off of the mat. Exhale, set it down. Inhale for rock star. Exhale, release. One more time. Inhaling for rock star. Take a breath here. And exhale, setting it down. Beautiful, yogis. Going to bring our feet together. I'm going to just face the top of my mat so you can see. Coming into Navasana, or boat pose. We're going to bring our hands just under our knees here, and then slowly sit back until those feet float off of the mat. We want to make sure to keep our chest nice and open here, so no slouching like this. Nice and open. Let's see if we can take 5 breaths in boat pose. So you can continue to keep your hands on your legs if you'd like. If this is even a challenge, you can always set your feet on the mat. Maybe take your hands off of your legs. If you really want to challenge, maybe taking those feet long, but just make sure you don't slouch. Keeping that chest proud. One more breath. And exhale, releasing to the mat. Beautiful. Let's just take a couple of rolls as we make our way onto our backs for the rest of practice. Giving our backs a nice little massage. They've done a lot of work today. We did a lot of planks. Finding your way onto your back. We're going to move into shoulder stand. If you have any neck issues or upper back issues, you may want to take L-shaped pose. For L-shaped pose, keeping your hips on the mat, just going to take those feet long up to the sky. And you can just hang out here. You can also always put like a blanket under your hips to help support those legs. If you are with me in shoulder stand, we're going to take our feet overhead. I like to take my feet kind of into a modified plow pose so that I can get my hands onto my lower back, and then I'm just going to gently walk those elbows in, and then begin to bring those feet up to the ceiling. Make sure you're keeping your neck neutral, only looking up at the ceiling. Try not to turn to look at the video or your neighbor. Really engaging through the legs to support. Then we're going to move into the counter pose, plow pose, sending those feet overhead, continuing to support the lower back. Especially if your feet don't touch the floor, continue to support the lower back. If the feet do touch the floor, you can send your hands to the mat. And when you're in plow, think about really extending through the backs of the knees, so not collapsing over onto your chest. And then we're going to just gently start to lower those hips back to the mat. Meeting everyone in L-shaped pose. And then just exhale, bending the knees, sending those feet just below the hips onto the mat. Let's take a breath here. Neutralize the spine before we move into our back bending series. Nice inhale here. And exhale. Inhale, we're going to bring our sacrum off the mat. And exhale, releasing it down. If you have any back issues, you can stay here, just gently rolling the lower back off the mat, setting it down. If you're feeling good, feel free to take those rolls a little bit higher, up to the shoulder blades. On your exhale, rolling it back down. Inhale, up. And exhale, release. Maybe taking a little back bend here. Maybe tucking those shoulder blades and clasping the hands. Really pushing through all the corners of the feet to raise those hips high. Let's hold for 5 breaths. And exhale, releasing the hands, releasing the shoulders, gently rolling back down. Maybe taking a breath here. You can either take a second back bend or maybe try wheel pose if that's in your practice. Whichever version you're taking, inhaling, rolling up, pushing through all the corners of the feet. 5 breaths here. And exhale, releasing back down to the mat. And then taking a breath here, allowing the spine to neutralize. Taking any final poses that you need for the practice. Maybe just hugging those knees into the chest, giving your lower back a little massage. Starting to really cool down and unwind. Let's take a little supine twist to close out our practice. We're going to take our hands wide in a T-shaped pose, and then just kind of picking up the hips and then setting them down an inch to the right, letting those knees drop over to the left. Gaze can be neutral or over towards one of your hands, just whatever feels comfortable. I'm just trying to release into the pose, letting gravity gently twist the spine. Inhale, engaging the abs, bringing those knees back up to center, setting the feet down on the mat so you can pick the hips up and just drop them a few inches to the left, and then drop those knees to the right. Again, inhaling, and then exhale, releasing, letting gravity open the spine. Inhale, engaging the abs, bringing those knees back to center, and then sending those feet out long towards the bottom corners of the mat. Maybe bringing the hands closer in, maybe palms face up for allowing that energy to radiate out to the room, to the universe, as we settle in for Savasana. Inhaling and exhale, sigh it out. Inhale and exhale. Releasing the toes, the soles of the feet, and the tops of the feet. Releasing the ankles. Releasing the shins and the calves. Releasing the fronts of the knees and the backs of the knees. Releasing the thighs. Releasing the hips. Releasing the shoulders. Releasing the tops of the arms, the elbows. Releasing the forearms, the wrists, and the hands. Releasing the neck, the throat, easing the jaw, maybe releasing the tongue from the roof of your mouth. Releasing the eyes, letting them settle. Releasing the brow. releasing all the way up to the crown of your head. Inhaling and exhale, sinking into the earth. Deciding whether you'd like to spend the rest of your practice here, taking a few more precious quiet moments in Savasana, or beginning to wiggle your fingers and your toes. I have found a little cat friend, so Daisy has found her Shavasana on top of me. Oh, sorry, little friend. It's time to move. Maybe rolling over to one side. Taking a moment to take a breath here. Inhale, pressing yourself up to seated. Maybe keeping those eyes closed. And then just bringing your hands together at heart center. Coming back to the intention you set for your practice. And maybe taking it with you through the rest of your weekend. Or if it served its purpose, letting it go. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. We raise our thumbs to third eye, bow and say namaste. Namaste, yogis. Thank you for practicing with me today.